For the last 2 years, I feel like we've been chasing the biggest, most godlike AI models in the cloud.
Yeah, totally.
But I was thinking, what if the future of AI isn't in a massive data center, but sitting right in your pocket?
Right, because today, Mira Murati just dropped a 975 billion parameter model. And somehow the industry is simultaneously figuring out how to cram that exact level of intelligence directly onto your smartphone.
Oh, it's kind of wild.
Plus, we are tracking some really intense ecosystem drama right now between Microsoft, Apple, and OpenAI.
We really are. Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. We are seeing a massive pivot in the entire AI landscape today.
We really are.
We're basically moving from a single generic intelligence to highly customized, hyper-efficient models. So let's just dive straight into the biggest news for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mira Murati's new venture, Thinking Machines Lab, just released their first open-weight model.
It's called Inkling, and it represents a fundamental departure from the strategy of, her former employer, OpenAI, because they are not trying to build one godlike model to rule them all. They are building a foundational base for extreme customization.
Yeah, and on paper, Inkling sounds like a traditional behemoth.
Right.
I mean, it's a 975 billion parameter MoE system.
Exactly.
And it was trained on, what, 45 trillion multimodal tokens?
Yeah, 45 trillion.
Which covers text, images, audio, and video.
But that massive parameter count is kind of deceptive.
How so?
Because of how that MoE architecture actually functions in practice.
Right, let's clarify that term for a second. MoE stands for a mixture of experts. It's basically a model that only uses parts of its brain when needed.
Think of it like a massive hospital. You don't need the heart surgeon, the neurologist, and the physical therapist all in the room just to look at a sprained ankle.
No, that would be overkill.
Exactly. The model's routing algorithm looks at your prompt and sends it only to the specific neural networks, the experts that actually know how to handle it.
Which means out of 975 billion parameters, Inkling only wakes up about 41 billion for any specific task.
Yeah.
It keeps the compute costs incredibly low. But what really caught my eye is how Inkling fundamentally alters the problem-solving process itself.
Oh, you're talking about the uncertainty flags.
I am, yeah. Because we usually expect models to just confidently output text, even if they are completely hallucinating.
Right, they just guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Inkling calculates a mathematical confidence threshold before it speaks.
Yes. So if the statistical probability of the next token being correct falls below a certain internal benchmark, the model simply stops.
It just pauses.
Right. It flags its own uncertainty. It will actually prompt the user for clarifying context rather than just, blindly guessing and outputting a confident hallucination.
That is a massive architectural shift for enterprise trust. And it also features a physical dial for what they call thinking effort.
Oh, the dial is so cool. You can actively trade speed for deep computation.
So how does that work in practice?
Well, if you ask it a simple factual question, you dial the effort down and it fires back instantly. But if you ask it to architect a complex database, you turn the dial up. The routing algorithm allocates more active parameters and, really takes its time to reason.
And the efficiency metrics are staggering here. On standardized coding benchmarks, Inkling matched NVIDIA's top open-weight model.
Yeah.
But it achieved that exact same performance using just a third of the active tokens.
Because the expert routing is just that precise. But, Thinking Machines isn't just giving this away for free.
Right, they have a business model.
Yeah. Their entire business model hinges on a secondary platform they launched alongside Inkling, which is called Tinker.
Right, and Tinker is where the customization happens. It's like stacking Lego blocks of data.
Exactly.
You take the highly efficient Inkling-based model, and you use Tinker to fine-tune it exclusively on your company's private data.
You basically freeze the foundational weights of the model so you don't break its general understanding of the world.
Right.
Then you train a very small, highly specialized adapter layer over the top using your proprietary data. It is fast, and it is incredibly cheap.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If custom is cheaper and better, why is anyone still buying generic models?
Because generic models are a fantastic starting line. I mean, if you're a startup, they are great.
Sure.
But specialized knowledge mathematically beats general knowledge in an enterprise setting. Like, look at the recent benchmark from that major hedge fund.
Oh, right.
They tested a customized, fine-tuned model against a top-tier closed API model on complex financial logic.
And the custom model didn't just win. It won while costing fractions of a cent per query compared to dollars per API call for the generic model.
Exactly. The generic model got lost in basic Python boilerplate,
Right.
while the custom model leveraged 10 years of proprietary quantitative data. So for tight security and hyper-specific logic, custom AI simply wins the marathon every time.
So generic is the appetizer, but custom AI is the actual main course.
That is exactly how the enterprise market is treating it right now.
Well, customizing a model in the cloud is great for a hedge fund. But if the goal is absolute data privacy, you can't be sending sensitive data to external servers at all.
No, definitely not.
You need the model in the room with you.
Yeah.
Which brings us to a, frankly, disruptive release from PrismML.
Yes. They just dropped Bonsai 27B, and it fundamentally changes where high-level artificial intelligence can physically live.
Right, because usually a 27 billion parameter model is enormous. I mean, even compressed, it sits around 18 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And smartphones physically cannot handle that.
They really can't. An average smartphone might have 8 gigabytes of total unified memory. The operating system needs 3 gigabytes. Your background apps take another 2 gigabytes.
So you're already almost maxed out.
Exactly. If an AI app suddenly asks for 18 gigabytes of RAM, the phone's architecture just brutally shuts the process down to prevent a crash.
But Bonsai 27B is somehow only 3.9 gigabytes.
Yeah, they solved this physical physics problem through an extreme version of a process called quantization.
Let's define that real quick. Quantization is shrinking file size by making the math slightly less exact.
Perfect way to put it.
But going down to 3.9 gigabytes means they are using 1-bit quantization. How does a model lose that much mathematical precision and still function?
It is just brilliant engineering. Normal AI models use highly precise 16-bit decimal numbers for their weights.
Right.
1-bit quantization compresses those complex decimals into simple binary choices, a 1 or a -1.
But doesn't that destroy the model's ability to reason? I mean, you're losing so much data.
You would totally think so, but neural networks are massively redundant.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the architecture actually compensates for the lost precision in individual parameters by relying on the aggregate strength of the network. It loses exact mathematical precision, but it keeps the overall logical structure entirely intact.
And they released a few variants of this, right?
Yeah.
There is a ternary variant designed for laptops. That one sits at 5.9 gigabytes and retains about 95% of the original model's performance.
And then there is the phone-ready version, the 1-bit variant we just discussed. 3.9 gigabytes, retaining 90% of its performance. It handles multimodal inputs, complex coding, and even multi-step agent workflows.
Wait, normally models this size need massive, power-hungry GPUs just to output a single word without lagging.
True.
Does this actually run fast enough on a standard smartphone to be usable? Or is it going to just melt my battery in 10 minutes?
That is the beauty of modern mobile hardware. Smartphones now have dedicated NPUs, neural processing units.
Okay.
Bonsai is specifically optimized to run entirely on that low-power NPU, completely bypassing the main processor, so it sips battery instead of chugging it.
Let's make this real for a second. Imagine you're on a flight. You're in airplane mode over the Atlantic. Zero Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
With Bonsai 27B on your phone, you could snap a photo of a messy, printed spreadsheet.
And completely offline, your phone reads the image, writes a Python script to clean the data, executes the code locally, and hands you a perfectly formatted file. Whoa. Imagine running a 27 billion parameter brain completely in airplane mode.
It's crazy. That completely shifts the power dynamic for the user. Total privacy. No API cost per query. Your data never leaves your hands.
It bypasses the entire cloud subscription model. The model is fully open source and sitting on Hugging Face right now.
Which raises an existential question for the big labs. Will this localized approach eventually kill off the cloud AI APIs entirely?
Not entirely. I mean, the cloud will always be necessary for massive God-tier reasoning.
Right.
Like, if you are simulating a new pharmaceutical drug, you need a data center. But for writing emails, analyzing spreadsheets, and basic coding, Edge AI handles that beautifully.
Cloud stays for heavy lifting, but our phones handle the daily grind locally.
Precisely. And that push toward local control is being driven by a massive breakdown in enterprise trust right now.
Which is the perfect lens to view the current drama unfolding across the tech ecosystem this week. We have to talk about the Grok build incident.
Oh, man. Yeah. It is a stark reminder of why CIOs are terrified of cloud-based coding agents right now.
Grok build was caught quietly uploading entire customer code repositories to company-controlled cloud storage. Proprietary enterprise code is the crown jewel of any tech company.
Absolutely.
Having an AI agent scrape that and pull it into a centralized cloud is a catastrophic security failure. SpaceX AI stepped in and claimed they're deleting the data, but the trust is already shattered.
And competitors are ruthlessly leveraging that exact mistake. Look at Microsoft's leaked fiscal year 27 sales strategy.
Yeah, that leak was fascinating.
They are actively coaching their sales teams to knock down their own partners.
Right, they're actively targeting OpenAI and Anthropic in their enterprise pitches.
Yeah.
They aren't selling raw intelligence anymore. They're pitching Microsoft Copilot as a heavily fortified enterprise bunker.
They're telling CIOs that those standalone models are basically the Wild West, and Copilot is the only compliant SOC 2 certified environment safe enough for their data.
So is Microsoft actively sabotaging OpenAI by calling them less safe?
Well, it's classic enterprise strategy. CIOs buy data security, not just raw intelligence.
They're selling a digital fortress, not just a faster horse.
Exactly. It is a brilliant, if aggressive, enterprise strategy.
Sponsor?
And we are seeing this infrastructure fragmentation everywhere, heavily influenced by geopolitics, too. Like, Apple Intelligence is finally rolling out in China.
But they can't use their Western partners there due to strict data regulations.
Right.
So Apple had to partner with Alibaba using their Qwen model to power the iPhone experience in Beijing.
Which proves that local laws are now dictating global AI architecture.
It really does. Meanwhile, the capital is flowing into hyper-specialized cloud applications that solve single, massive problems.
Oh, like Chai Discovery.
Yes, Chai Discovery just raised $400 million,
Right.
hitting a $3.8 billion valuation.
And they aren't generating text or images. They built a specialized AI platform that strictly predicts how biological molecules interact with each other.
Right.
It accelerates antibody discovery by years.
And while Chai is specializing in biology, OpenAI is pushing boundaries in physical hardware and internal security. They just released Codex Micro.
The keyboard, right?
Yeah, it's a $230 physical keyboard. It features dedicated agent keys and a physical reasoning dial. It basically takes this abstract cloud intelligence and anchors it into a highly tactile physical workflow.
But you know, their most interesting release is actually invisible to users.
You mean GPT-RED?
Yeah, GPT-RED. It is an internal red teaming model. Its entire existence is dedicated to relentlessly attacking their own production models.
AI attacking AI at scale.
Exactly.
It automates prompt injections, firing millions of variations of ignore all previous instructions at the main system to find vulnerabilities.
And it is working. The automated attacks help train their new GPT 5.6 Sol model to achieve 6 times fewer security failures.
That's huge. And speaking of new tools, the sheer volume of things dropping is just relentless right now.
Seriously.
We have Vela 3.0 generating polished videos with localized translations.
And V2 Fun generating 8K 3D characters from 2D images.
Right, plus tools like Campus.
Yeah, bringing your team into shared virtual workspaces.
And agently doing workflow automation.
And Crest Data turning Claude into an automated recruiter scanning 1 billion profiles. It's crazy.
But looking at this specific list of tools, I'm noticing a distinct narrative shift. We are moving away from AI as a simple chat interface. It seems like we're moving from AI that just chats to AI that acts as a localized coworker.
That is the exact trend. If you look at a tool like Agently, it doesn't wait for you to prompt it.
Right.
It acts as a central hub, connects to your apps, and automates complex multi-step workflows entirely on its own.
And Campus takes that a step further. It brings your human team and your AI agents into one shared virtual office workspace.
Yeah.
You aren't opening a siloed chat window anymore. The AI is sitting in the project files with you.
But you know, all of these autonomous coworker-style tools require a fundamental shift in how humans communicate with them.
That is very true.
Which brings us to the new research paper from Sully AI.
Right. A researcher there proved that the performance of an AI on complex tasks improves exponentially based purely on the style of your input.
If you give an AI a casual prompt, like write me a marketing email, it defaults to average generic output. But if you provide a serious long-horizon task brief, giving it a specific persona, strict constraints, and required formatting, the reasoning capabilities spike dramatically.
I'll be honest, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself whenever I'm too casual with my AI.
Oh, same here.
I get lazy, I type a quick half-thought, and then I find myself getting deeply frustrated by the generic boilerplate answer it spits back.
We all do it. We subliminally expect the machine to read our minds and infer our context.
Right.
But the data unequivocally shows that treating the model like a serious employee with a structured brief yields vastly superior results.
Let's take a step back and connect the dots of this entire deep dive.
Yeah, let's do it.
We are clearly closing the chapter on the era of one massive generic oracle in the cloud answering everyone's questions.
The new era we are entering is fiercely fragmented. It is highly specialized.
And it is deeply personal. We see Inkling being fine-tuned exclusively for a single business's private data. We see Microsoft building walled enterprise gardens. And we see Bonsai 27B living right on your phone, completely severed from the cloud.
Which raises an incredibly provocative question for you to consider this week.
What's that?
If our personal phones are now physically capable of running 27 billion parameter models completely offline in airplane mode, what happens when those localized device-level AIs start communicating directly with each other?
Wow.
We might be standing on the very edge of a localized mesh network of intelligence, a peer-to-peer web of AI that bypasses the massive tech giants entirely.
A decentralized swarm of highly capable models sharing context without ever touching a server in California. That is a staggering thought.
It really is.
As we wrap up today, I encourage you to rethink your own daily AI interactions. Try treating your AI to a serious, structured task brief instead of a casual prompt. See how much the output improves.
And if your phone has the space, maybe try downloading a local open source model like Bonsai to your hardware.
Yeah, try it out.
Experience exactly what true disconnected edge AI actually feels like.
Because the future of AI isn't just humming in a massive data center anymore. It is sitting right in your pocket. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. Ochioro Music.